Oh, oh, I just love when I'm with you. Yo, this shit just makes me want to go off right now, for real. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. It's your boy Mando, man, back at it again with another episode of the No Signal podcast, son. Welcome. Episode 61. 61, we closer to 81. And you know what that means. Pizza on the weekends. Pizza on the weekends. Shit, man, I'm out of it. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. Like, before I started recording this, I was like, man, I'm tired. Maybe I'll just write some shit down, some topics down, and then do the episode tomorrow. You know, throw off my little algorithm I got going on. But I was just like, you know what, man, just thug it out. Just thug it out straight up. Also, that was in the back of my mind, and also, like, me saying, like, you know, come on, man, like, it's Wednesday. You know, you do this every Wednesday. It's only once a week and shit. It's only once a week for now until I rearrange my schedule and shit, you know. This week, my schedule was already, like, fucked. It was already fucked. Monday, so usually Monday, do chest or whatever, work out arms and shit. Tuesday is leg day. And then Wednesday, like today, do the podcast and shit. But Monday, I had to go to my nephew's basketball game. He's 4. So I had to go to my nephew's basketball game, you know, watch the little kids, you know, run around and shit, fight over the ball and shit. That shit was funny, man. Yo, just seeing little kids and shit, like he's not a toddler. He's 4 years old, so he's like just a little kid. It's just a little kid. So seeing them just like all like run and then just like try and like they don't know what to do. Only like one kid from each team actually knows how to play and shit. So he gets the ball and then they pretty much traveling it the whole way because they don't know no better. You know, they just kids and shit, just having fun. So they just pick it up and travel like all the way, go for a layup or some shit like that. Yeah, it's funny because the parents, they get all into it and shit. And I was getting into it too. He kept looking at us in the stands, and I stood up and I was like, go that way. I was like, go that way with the ball, shit. I was like, shoot that old Jabari. Big fuck nigga. Shoot that whole Jabari. That shit is that shit is funny as fuck, that little TikTok shit, man. Yo, you know what I was thinking of, man? Me, I stay reminiscing and shit. And I think I told this story. On my close friends and shit. So, you know, if you ain't on my close friends, then, you know, this is a first time for you. But, you know, my close friends, they already know, like, what I'm finna say and shit. So, little story time. Let me pan out the setting and shit for y'all real quick. So I went to one of the homies like last year and shit or whatever. He had a little like hangout, little kickback shit at his house for his birthday. We pulled up. A bunch of his homies pulled up and shit. Homies from like out the way, fucking up there like towards LA type shit. They came down, you know, supporting him and shit. You know, came through, watched the fight. We was watching the fight off the phone and shit. So, you know, panning out the setting right here real quick. So we was all like together and shit. And it was just a mixture of oh, this is my friend. Oh, this is my friend's friend. Oh, this is my cousin over here and all this shit. Like just variety and shit. So I seen this one girl and I was just like, oh shit, like, all right, for sure then. And then like, I just glanced at her and then I just looked away because I didn't really like bother to approach or anything. Like mostly like 9 times out of 10, if I see a fine girl, like I'm not going to approach her. Cause like 1, I think she's like stuck up. 2, she's having a bad day. Or 3, she's on like her time of the month, and then she just like, oh, like fuck you, don't even talk to me right now, don't even look over here. 4, she probably got a man's, and 5, she's just like unhappy and shit with herself or something like that. You know what I mean? So that's like the top 5 reasons why I don't be approaching like women and shit like in public or whatever the fuck. Like But if it's like, how do you say? If it's like, oh, okay, like she's just like right there chilling by herself, and then I'm like, oh, like I'm by myself, like I don't have shit to do, then like, oh, I'll just like approach her or something like that. But if I'm like with some homies and shit, and then I just like I wouldn't even like bother and shit or whatever. But either way, let me get back to the story. So I seen this girl, I glance or whatever, that's cool, whatever. Just keep watching the fight and shit. And then my cousin pulls up. My cousin I had on the show, Alexis. She she pulled up, and then whatever, I like leave her with the girls over there in the girls section and shit, and I'm over here with the boys like watching the fight and shit. And then whatever, like I was talking to one of the homies and shit. We was chopping it up, talking like about something. I don't know what the fuck. But my cousin comes over, and then she introduces me to the girl and shit. And I was just like, oh hey, like how you doing? Like I'm like, oh hey, how you doing? And just chopping it up, and I was just like, oh uh oh, like just chopping it up and shit, like, oh, what do you do and blah blah, where you stay at type shit, you know what I mean? She was like, oh, I stay over here, and that shit was like out there, that shit was like out the way type shit, you know what I mean? It wasn't a mission, because usually like I say LA is a mission, but halfway to LA is like not even that much of a mission and shit like that. So I bust like, I bust a mission over there halfway and shit. I didn't meet her halfway. I picked her up from the crib, whatever, got all that shit done. But when we was on the date, when we was on the date, she wore, like, it was like cold outside and shit. So she wore like a fucking like tank top, like muscle shirt ish type, you know what I mean, type shit. And she had like a coat over and shit, but the coat was like open right here, you know what I mean, like right there where you could see like the whole cleavage and shit. So I was just like, oh, okay. And then whatever, we like waited a while to get the seat, and then we finally got sat down. We was about to eat and shit. And then I was just like this. I was like, oh, like with my arms on the table type shit. Excuse me. I was like this with my hands on the table type shit. And then I was just like, oh, like, god damn, bro. I was like looking at her and shit, like this. Like, oh, I was like looking at her, chopping it up. And then whatever, like I looked down like that, like real quick. Like I just took a quick glance, bro. Like I just took a quick glance, like, oh, like, so what are you doing for this day or whatever? And I just like looked down, like just to see, bro, just to see, you know what I mean? Like, and then she's like, oh, and I'm like, yo, you know what you're wearing? You know what you're wearing right now, right? Like, yo, why was that shit like mad, like awkward and shit after? It wasn't even like mad awkward. It was just like, all right, like she seen that I saw, and then I seen that she covered up, and it was just like, oh, all right, so yeah, like, yo, that, like, I was like bugging the fuck out. I was like, yo, like, yeah, some like just looking down like real quick. She's like, yeah, and I was like, bro, why are you covering up? Like, you know what you're doing. You know what you're wearing right now, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. That shit was like tripping. I was like bugging the fuck out and shit. And then whatever, we ended up getting, like, after we left, we ended up like getting some drinks. Um, and then just like chilling, like talking in the car type shit. You know what I mean? Little therapy session and shit. Not really therapy session, but we was just like, talking. I was like cracking jokes and shit. And I don't know, like, if she wasn't feeling me, I don't really mind shit. Cause she wasn't really giving off that like flirty type. You know what I mean? I know a girl is into me when she starts like throwing the energy back type shit. You know what I mean? Where I'm just like, oh shit, like, just like, just, I don't know, like, I don't know what I do, bro. Like, I don't know what I do when I be like chopping it up and shit. Like, just something about it, and then they just start like laughing, and then next thing you know, they grabbing my shit, and I'm just I don't know what it is, bro. Like, I just be myself. I get creative with it. Like, I just say a bunch of like random jokes, especially like if they tell me some shit like, oh, what is it? I don't know. Like, I'm struggling trying to find a little like scenario to to match it up, but I don't know what it is. Like, that's the only way I know, like, if the girl's like actually feeling me when she throws the energy back and shit. And she throw that ass back, you know what I'm saying? Hey, throw that ass back. Yo, what the fuck is going on right now? What the fuck is going on right now? I got cold and shit. Look, goosebumps. Yo, would y'all listen? Would y'all still listen to the podcast if I had a lisp? Hey guys, welcome back to the No Signal podcast. Hey guys, welcome back to the No Signal podcast. I sound like fucking Mike Tyson type shit. Some girl like in elementary one time, she told me that I have a lisp. And I was just like, oh, say that again? Because I don't know what word I said. I said a word with like, for example, this. Like the word this. I was like, oh, like, you know, so saying something about this. And then she was like, oh, say that again? And I was like, oh, say something about this. And then she was just like, wait, say this again? And I was like, this. And then she's like, you have a lisp. And I was like, no, I don't. I swear, ever since then, that bitch made me insecure about like the way I talk and shit. But either way, I don't give a fuck because everybody like stays making fun of the way I talk and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I was talking to some girl and then I was like chopping it up with her. And I brought up my sister and I was just like, oh, like, yeah, some. I told her, I was like, man, fuck wrong with her. I was like, fuck wrong with her. Like, fuck wrong with her. But I was just like, oh, fuck wrong with her. And then she was like, you talk like that? And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like that. And I was like, oh, what do you mean? Like, fuck wrong with her? And then she was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. And then she was like bugging the fuck. I was like, yo, why you tripping on me? Like, because the way I talk and shit. It's my Riverside accent. I used to say that shit to, fucking my ex all the time and shit. I'll be like, she'll make fun of the way, like, I say, like, oh, I was finna do this shit. Oh, y'all could do that. I'm finna go over here and shit, just talk like that. And she was just like, why do you talk like that? You talk funny. And I'll be like, oh, it's my accent. It's my Riverside accent. My Riverside accent, bro. That's my fucking, that's my, what is it? That's my alibi. Alibi? That's not even the right word. That's my little like go-to fucking saying, whatever the fuck. Yo, y'all remember that show Wildboyz? Y'all remember that show Wildboyz with Steve-O and Chris Pontius? Yo, they used to go everywhere, bro. They used to travel the world. Like, that's like one show that I watched, like, and I still have like the seasons and shit like on like DVD. Remember back then they used to like sell the DVDs and shit of the shows, like, oh, season 1, season 2. Like, I remember I bought a couple. I bought the Wild and Out one. I bought the Wild and Out one, but back then, like when it was like barely starting, like season 1, 2, 3 type shit. When they had Kanye on that bitch, like, and that was prime Kanye. That was prime Kanye. I'm about to get into Kanye later, but let me just tell you, that was prime Kanye on the fucking Wild and Out shit. Whew. Roll the clip. Roll the clip. Y'all gotta look that up, man, for real. Kanye on Wild and Out. This was like, oh, because y'all know Kanye is like the greatest of all time. And then he was just like going off on the like wild style, like freestyle shit or whatever they call it. Yeah, and he was just like on one and shit. That shit was crazy, but either way, it was one of those like little DVDs from like the shows that they came out with, the MTV shows. I got that, the Wild and Out, like the Robin Big, R.I.P. Big Black, man, R.I.P. Big Black, and the Wildboyz one, the Wildboyz one. The Wildboyz one was fucking hilarious, bro. Like, and they got put in like certain situations. I remember, like, I think on Steve-O's podcast or some shit like that, he came out saying some shit like, oh, when we went over here and we seen this tribe, we went to this tribe, and that they actually try to eat them and shit. They actually try to like, like eat them and shit, like on camera and shit with the whole camera crew and shit right there, bro. I would have been fucking tripping. especially them over there, they showed like they was drinking water or fucking what or their own pee, whatever the fuck. They was drinking their own shit out of a fucking like skull cap, like out of a fucking like, you know what I mean, like a skull cap, just like a bowl. I crack it, yeah, skull like a skull cap, skull cap. Use that use that as a bowl for cereal. You know, bars. You know what I mean? Hey. I'll crack your fucking skull and use that as a bowl for cereal. That's bars. Let me know in the comments if y'all know that line right there, for real. I'll crack your fucking skull and use it as a bowl for cereal. But yeah, like I was watching that shit and I was like, bro, especially like the funny ones when they went to Mexico and shit. And then they had this with fucking they had this with Steve-O fucking slapping like Chris Pontius's ass with like cactuses and shit. The little fucking, oh man, that shit is tough. They used to do like, it was like, you know, they would like, I don't know, they would just like do a bunch of like random shit. Like they drank like tequila that had like the fucking rattle, like the scorpion at the bottom, or like the rattlesnake fucking rattle at the bottom, some shit like that, or a worm. I don't know, but they got fucked up. And then this was Steve-O was like, a borracho. He put all his fucking knuckles together and he wrote borracho on it. Yo, that show was like the best fucking show ever, for real. One of the best shows on MTV. That was like the beginning of the end of MTV. Before they started replaying a bunch of fucking ridiculousness episodes and shit. I don't even know if they're still making new episodes and shit. That's how like crazy it is. I don't know, man. It's so crazy right now. It's so crazy right now. All right, let me move on to the handy dandy notebook. How I said I was gonna reference Kanye. A video came out of him like not spazzing out, but just like telling the paparazzi like, hey, like pretty much like leave me the fuck alone and shit. Pretty much to tell like just telling them to like stay out of the way and shit. Cause obviously you seen they was like following him in his car and shit. That's when you know they doing too much. When they start following him in the whip and shit. Like, yeah, okay, he's coming out this restaurant, walking to the car, get pictures of him right there, and then he fucks off. He goes to get the kids or whatever the fuck. These fucking paparazzi, they was like following his ass and shit. Especially like the lady recording on her phone wasn't no like normal bystander and shit. They was paparazzi and shit. Obviously, like why do you think they had like so much like, you know, footage of it and shit? You got the girl recording, you got the dude in the passenger recording her while she's recording him and shit. So obviously it's like paparazzi doing this shit, man. Like, and it's not only Kanye, it's a bunch of other fucking celebrities and shit. Like that Tobey Maguire shit where he's like where the paparazzi's in his way and he's like, I can't fucking say there are cars there, motherfucker. He's like, get out of the way. Damn, that shit is hilarious. That shit is hilarious for real. But yeah, man, like paparazzi, like they swear like celebrities are like a fucking, all they have more than us is just money. Like we all the same and everything. The only thing more they have is just money and fame and respect and shit like that. You know what I mean? And power. Cause obviously like if they weren't famous, like Kanye is like well respected like from his peers and shit. But like the paparazzi and shit, like you can't respect them because all they do is just like take pictures and then just like send it to the tabloids and shit, and then they make some fucking crazy ass like caption or headline and shit or report on it and shit. Like, oh, Kanye, like they probably gonna like use that shit and be like, oh, Kanye off the meds attacking paparazzi type shit. They probably gonna say some shit like that, which is like blown way the fuck out of proportion and shit. It just blows my mind. It just blows my mind for real. But yeah, man, paparazzi need to back the fuck off. Back the fuck off of Kanye and everybody for real. Also, another thing I wanted to talk about with you guys and shit. Streaming. Streaming. I will start live streaming. One of these days I will do a live podcast. One of these days I will do a live podcast so that way the chat, you know, everybody can talk their shit or whatever, say they piece and all that stuff. Ask the questions they would want to ask if they were here, you know what I mean? But yeah, I plan on streaming Rocket League. If any one of you guys is interested in Rocket League, I'm gonna be streaming that. Also some Minecraft. Some Minecraft, bro. But like, you know, just a little light Minecraft, you know, for right now and shit. I'm barely like starting back up from not playing in over like a couple months and shit. So obviously I'm gonna have like a new world and then it's just gonna be, you know, started from scratch and shit. But I already have a world right now. But I'm just debating whether to keep it for the stream or make a new one for the stream. So that way when I'm on stream, y'all are familiar with, you know what I mean, my shit and stuff like that. But it's all good though. That's pretty much the main two games I was gonna stream. Rocket and Minecraft. You know, Minecraft Mondays, you know, Mando, Minecraft Mondays, Mando Mondays, Mamba Mondays. Bars. Hey. But yeah, just something like that, you know, a little Minecraft and shit here and there. It's fun, man. I don't know, like Minecraft is like so like fucking peaceful, bro. Like it's just so relaxing. Just building just building shit is just fucking fun, man. It's just awesome. And also as well as like um uh just doing a bunch of other shit, like going mining and shit, finding diamonds and shit. You know what I mean? Like in the game, when I find diamonds, I'm like, "You got the diamonds? You got the diamonds?" All right, but that's enough. That's enough Minecraft on that shit, man. For real, those are two games I'm finna stream. Also, some reactions and shit. Some, you know, reaction videos, video reactions and shit. So y'all can stay tuned for that. All of it is going to be on this channel. All of it is going to be on this channel. I do have a second channel, but everything is on this channel for right now. Everything is on this channel. Moving on to the Lakers segment of the show. I've been waiting a whole week for this. Starting from last week's game, because when I uploaded the podcast, we played that night against the Spurs, San Antonio. And San Antonio, they took the L, but you know what I mean? It was Rui Hachimura's first game, I believe, in a Lakers uniform, but I'm finna get into that. On the Spurs end, can y'all hear me? On the Spurs end, leading scorer Keldon Johnson with 25 points. Not much players put in work for San Antonio. I believe like 2 or 3 players got double figures. One being Keldon Johnson and the other being Sohan. 14 points, 7 rebounds. A little team comparison. Not team comparison. Well, yeah, Spurs had more offensive rebounds, but shot 8 for 34 from 3-point. Damn, that's what, 23%? You do the math. 8 for 34. That's insane. In the whole fucking game, too. In the whole 4 quarters. Oh, yeah. That was Rui Hachimura's first game. Also, AD first game back. That San Antonio game. AD came back with the light 21 points. Snagged 12 rebounds. Block 4 blocks. Block 4 shots. Block 4 blocks. Yeah, block 4 blocks, you know what I'm saying? He blocked 4 shots. Braun near triple double, 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 11 assists. Uh, Rui Hachimura, first game as a Laker, 12 points, 6 rebounds. You know, that's all you could ask for, man. Just a little solid, something light as a first time on the team, getting used to the teammates, getting used to the offense, getting used to the rotation. You know what I mean? That was a nice little light 12.6 rebounds. Pat Bev was shooting that shit though. Pat Bev was shooting that shit. He had 18 points, three of 7 from 3 point, 3 for 7 for 3 point, 40%. Good shit. Good shit, Pat Bev. Ooh, don't even get me started on this shit, man. Don't even get me fucking started on this shit right here, for real. The fucking Boston game, bro. The fucking Boston game. I would go an extra 10 minutes or some shit talking about this. But all I'm going to say is there's clearly some rigging going on here. Especially after the game I seen on Twitter that one of the NBA refs, his family, like the wife and kids and all that shit, all wearing Boston colors. So obviously he's gonna show favoritism to Boston and shit. Like how the fuck do the Lakers lose this game? This game wasn't our game to lose. This was our game to win. We just got fucked over the last second. Obviously, when LeBron drives, 10 times out of 10, he's getting fouled most of the fucking time. When LeBron drives, he's getting fouled most of the time. That's how... And as he's getting closer, that's how he gets most of his points. That's how he's going to become the all-time leading scorer from drives and free throws. Because you look at LeBron, come on, y'all. Really? Does LeBron have a bag? Does LeBron have a bag like that? How do you see most of his points like being, scored and stuff? 3-point. Well, these days it's 3-point, but back then most his shots and stuff were strictly on drives and free throws and dunks. Well, dunks equaling drives and shit. He's just a big body coming at you like at that much force, especially the way he runs fast in the paint. No one's going to stop that. No one's going to stop that shit for real. You have to foul, and foul they did. Especially like the instant replay shit. That shit needs to change off season. That shit needs to change this off season for real, this year. Cause what's his name? Stan Van Gundy? I think it's Stan Van Gundy. Stan Van Gundy, the commentator, I think it's Stan or Jeff Van. I don't even know. Whatever the fucking Van Gundy brothers, bro. Whatever Van Gundy brother. He said this was the reason that the instant replay was implemented in the NBA. In the NBA from like what, the 80s, 90s and shit, when instant replay was first brought, into action and shit. Was first implemented, yeah. And like, especially like in a close game like this, like the whole game was fucking back and forth. Like the Lakers were up what, like fucking 6, and then we let Al Horford get a 3. Not even Al Horford get a 3. We let Malcolm Brogdon get a 3, and then we let someone else get a 3, which like fucking tied the game. And then Braun driving in. Hold on, let me. I had to pick this up. This was bothering me. What was I finna say? All right. Like in that close of a game, like the refs, you need to go to the replay for that shit. You need to go to the replay. I don't know what else to add on. Like my brain is just like so fucking like thrown off from like the fact that we just lost that game and it was clearly our game to win. Clearly our game to win. The one thing that pissed me off though was the way LeBron reacted. Was the way LeBron reacted after that shit. Like, obviously, you're mad at the refs. I would get mad at the ref too. I would have went up to the ref and like just straight like, I don't care, cuss them out, tell them like, man, what the fuck are you doing? Like, call that shit. Like, he fucking got my arm. You seen that shit? You was right there. Like, the bald fucking like white dude ref, the bald, he was right fucking there. Right fucking there. The clear angle of seeing Jason Tatum's arm fucking hit LeBron. Obviously, if LeBron is going up and then you bring the momentum down, the ball's not gonna carry that momentum up. It's gonna like be flat. It's gonna be flat. Like, obviously the momentum going up and then boom, and then the shot like that's like shooting a ball like half release. Like, obviously it's gonna fucking like be short. Like, come on now. That just pissed me off the way LeBron reacted, especially when he went down on the floor and he got to his knees and then he was just like, I'm like, bro, you're like, look at the jersey you got on right now. Look at the jersey you got on right now. You're a Laker. You're a Laker. Like, you're a Laker on your knees in the Boston's home court. They want to see you defeated like that. They want to see you defeated. And especially like as a Laker player, you gotta like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. I think LeBron was just like so in the moment of like so like fucking mind blown that the ref didn't call the call, that he just showed emotion, just showed all his emotion. Like, he just like, he obviously he was devastated, but bro, you can't show emotion like that, especially when it's a Lakers Celtics game. Like, you know this is for like bragging rights and shit. Come on, man. Like, come on, Bron. Like, you got to do better. Now, I'm not saying do better, but you just gotta like, because obviously he had what? I didn't even get to the stats. Bron had 41 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. Nearly a 40-point triple-double. And in overtime, it was done. It was done by then. In overtime, it was just all the energy just got sucked out of the Lakers, honestly. Because the Lakers and everybody knew we got cheated. Everybody knew we got cheated. That shit just like, wow, man. I can't even believe that shit. Still, even a couple days after, like, it's already been like what, 5 days and shit. I still can't like wrap my head around that shit, bro. For real. Yeah, man. You can't let Boston see you defeated like that, man. For real. Like when Kobe lost to Boston in the finals in 2008, he showed the utmost respect, congratulating, like dabbing up KG, congratulating him and shit. And then boom, walking off the floor. Obviously in tears, showing emotion, but at the same time, like, that's for bragging rights. That's Lakers. It's Lakers Boston. That's what it all like, it comes down to. Just the bragging rights, man. Like I said, the bragging rights and shit. But fuck, man, that was just, Lakers just got cheated again for the third time. I seen a post that saying if the Lakers won the games that we got hoed on, we got cheated on, like the Dallas, Philly, Boston game, we will be 6th place right now. We'll be 6th seeded right now. Fucking insane, bro. Wow. That puts everything in perspective and shit. But let me go on. Let me go through the stats quick before I even fucking get an aneurism or some shit. Like I said, this was the Lakers game to win. This was our game to win. You fuck. Both teams shot below 35% from 3. Terrible. Tatum, 30 points, 11 rebounds. Jaylen Brown, 37 points, 9 rebounds. Malcolm Brogdon. This is what fucking pissed me off right here. How you gonna let Malcolm Brogdon damn near get a 30 piece? He got 26. He got 26 this game. Just imagine if Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Brogdon all had 30 each. That shit would have pissed me off, bro. That shit would have pissed me off for real. Even just combined, they all had 90 points. 93. And in fact, 93 points between Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Brogdon in the Lakers game. And on the Lakers side, Braun had 41 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. I already said that. AD 16 points, 10 rebounds, still coming off the bench. That was his game coming off the bench that game. I don't think he should have came off the bench. Either that or start him in the second half. And Westbrook wasn't hitting at all. Westbrook, it was like tough to watch. Wasn't hitting, but he at least got 12 points, grabbed us 4 rebounds, and dished out 7 dimes. The next game, Lakers Nets. Again, this is a game we should have won, but I feel like LeBron sat this one out. Because of what happened in the Boston game, and he was just like, fed up with that shit. He was just already like heated and shit like that. But TB, Thomas Bryant, 18 points, 9 rebounds. Westbrook with another near triple double, 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 10 assists. And Troy Brown Jr. This was caught me by surprise. 11 points, 17 rebounds. Damn. And Kyrie, the leading scorer on the Nets, 26 points, grabbed 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Cam Thomas, Patty Mills, each 21 points. Cam Thomas 21, Patty Mills 21. And Lakers Knicks game. This is the game, what, Monday? Yeah, Monday. Both teams shot terrible from the 3-point range. It was like less than 30%. Both teams shot terrible. Let me fact check that, honestly. Am I correct on that? No, not today. My mom was texting me if I'm gonna go to my nephew's game today. I can't because I'm doing this. Sorry, mate. Yeah, both teams shot Lakers shot 33% and the Knicks shot 20%. That's tough. But Jalen Brunson with an outstanding 37-point performance with 6 assists. Julius Randle played 43 minutes. Damn. 43 minutes. 23 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists. And coming off the bench quickly with 19 points and 8 assists. This caught me by surprise right here. Hartenstein. 16 points, 13 rebounds. How the fuck you let this fool get a double-double off the bench? Playing for the Knicks. How the fuck you let that happen? And on the Lakers side, Rui Hachimura getting comfortable in the rotation. 19 points, 9 rebounds. Improving little by little each game. Love to see it. Especially when he, straight after the trade, right after the trade, he was getting in it. Getting right to it. And Braun, 28 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists. He is 98. He is 89 points away from becoming the all-time leading scorer. Let's talk about that for a minute. When LeBron becomes an all-time leading scorer, it's not going to change nothing for me. My GOAT, greatest of all time, is still going to be Kobe. It never will change. Never change. I never change. This is Mando every day. I never change. This is Jay every day. But yeah, when he finally gets that achievement, accolade, accomplishment, obviously everybody is going to be on their hands and knees but I'm not going to say no hater shit, bro. I'm not going to say no hater shit right now. Stop trying to make me say some hater shit, bro. Let's just stop that shit, man. Not just kidding. But Yeah, when he becomes the all-time leading scorer, like my my opinion is not going to change. Obviously, like I'm gonna, I'm appreciating his play right now that he's in the league still. Um, I'm still, watching Laker games. I have no choice. I'm still gonna. I don't know, man. It's weird, like trying to find like something good to say about LeBron when I've been like a Kobe fan my whole life and shit. It's like crazy. And like I said, man, nothing's gonna change. I'm still gonna look at LeBron the same way as I do, whether he gets that all time leading scorer record. He's still gonna be third in my all time. You know what I mean? Yes, I said third. Third. You want me to repeat myself? Third. Let me look. Kobe, Jordan, Braun, Tim Duncan, and Shaq. Like no matter what, everybody's gonna have their different type of starting five. Everybody's gonna have LeBron in their starting five. Everybody's gonna have Kobe out of their starting five, top five all time, shit like that. But nothing's gonna change for me, bro. Like I don't know. It's just hard. It's just hard to cherish, his play and shit, his accomplishments and shit. Obviously being from West Coast and shit, being brought up on the Lakers and Kobe my whole life and shit. It's hard to say nice things. Well, me personally, because what is there to do? What type of motivation and inspiration has LeBron brought me? Know what I mean? Um, Besides Kobe, you know what I mean? Uh, but moving on, continuing, resuming right here on that Knicks game. AD 27 points, 9 rebounds. And Westbrook 17.6 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 steals. Him and Julius Randle were going at it the whole fucking time. I loved that shit. I loved every minute of that shit. For real. Because there was times where Julius Randle will catch the ball on the post, and obviously he got Westbrook on him, and he thinks like, oh, he thinks it's sweet. He thinks, oh, it's Westbrook. I'm going to just take his ass to the rack. Psych. Yo, fucking Westbrook was putting his chest in that shit. He's putting his chest into him. Yo, fucking, like, he pulled the chair on fucking Julius Randle. He pulled the chair, and then he fucking snuck, and then got the reach, and then he stole that shit, and then it was on the break after that. And even like when Russ stole the ball from Julius Randle another possession later in front of the Knicks bench, he looked at the bench and was talking mad shit. I was like, yeah, Russ. I was like, yeah, Russ. Talk that shit. Talk that shit. I love seeing that shit, especially Russ, man. Especially Russ, because everybody been downplaying him, fucking talking crazy about Russ and shit. That's crazy. Like, especially like these videos I seen. Like I seen a backstage video of Braun in Westbrook. Braun was walking, obviously in his street clothes and stuff, and Westbrook was already geared up and shit in his Lakers uniform. And then Braun doesn't even look at Westbrook. He just like looks straight. Westbrook's right here on the right, and then he just like looks at Westbrook, and then like grabs his shoulders, does a little massage thing. Hits his shoulder and shit, and then like keeps doing the massage. And I'm like, but he's like not even looking at him the whole time. And I'm like, bro, this is the shit I'm talking about. Like, I feel like LeBron is pretty much like forcing himself to be friends with Westbrook and shit. He's like forcing every energy out of himself to be so nice to Westbrook, because he knows that Bronny's favorite player is Westbrook. Like, bruh, come on. And I even, here, let me pull this up real quick. I even posted some shit yesterday on Twitter. I even posted this shit right here. Seen that video, someone was like, I can feel the awkwardness through the screen. Bron didn't even look him in the eye. And he was just right there, like, oh, like giving him little shoulder rubs or whatever, and then dap up and shit, and then shoulder rub and shit, and then he just kept walking. Like he didn't look at him once. And I was like, Bron is forced to love Westbrook because Bronny's favorite player is Westbrook. And some dude said this. He said Bron is low-key a bad person for that. He forced Russ to join him when it's a bad fit and then treats him like shit for not being an MVP player. Let me pull a card. Let me pull a card out of my shit when I used to say you can't have two pass first players on the same team. Russ and Bron and shit. And I couldn't have said it better myself. I agree 100%. How ironic the GM gig is actually come true. And then someone was like, y'all really blaming Bron when the front office, the one who traded for him? And then some other dude said, duh, it's LeBron. What do you expect? What do you expect, bro? For real. That's Bron privilege. That's Bron privilege. Like that Ricky Davis interview. He came out saying on a podcast, I think, saying some shit that, oh, when Bron got there, that he got less playing time. Ricky Davis got less playing time and shit. And some I don't remember the whole like story he was talking about, but supposedly someone on the team said that Ricky Davis was being like he was just like being like not immature. Not immature is not the word. He was being it's like oh no, he was being pretty much like a hazard, like a toxic hazard, toxic to the team and shit or whatever. And then supposedly they were like, oh, something that you cuss Bron out and stuff. And then he's like, I didn't cuss Bron out. And then they were like, oh, well, there's these guys over here saying that you cuss Bron out. And then he's like, oh, well, let's get Bron in here and let's see what he says. And then he was like, what? You ain't never cussed me out. They asked Bron like, oh, did he cuss you out? And then he's like, what? No, he never cussed me out. You ain't never cussed me out. And then some shit. How ironic, Ricky Davis ends up getting traded like the following days after that meeting with LeBron in the front office and shit like that. How ironic Ricky Davis just magically gets traded after LeBron was like, oh no, he didn't cuss me out. Bron privilege. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. Nikola Jokic averaging a triple-double as a center. Nikola Jokic averaging a triple-double as a center, like that's Westbrook. That's Westbrook energy right there. That's Westbrook energy. I'm surprised no one came out with the meme of like seeing like Jokic averaging a triple-double or whatever and shit, and then put like that Soulja Boy meme. And then it's like, oh, Russ somewhere in LA, like, that motherfucker stole my whole flow. Stole my whole fucking flow. Word for word, bar for bar. Damn, man. But in all seriousness, Jokic averaging a triple-double as a center, that's like modern day Will Chamberlain type shit. Literally modern day Will Chamberlain. Because like Will Chamberlain used to get so much fucking boards. Well, his highest like game a grab of rebounds was like 50. Obviously no one's gonna reach that because the NBA is so big now. They're even like getting more expansion teams within the next 2-3 seasons and shit. So all these like other records and shit, like Will Chamberlain, John Stockton's record, Will Chamberlain's 100 points, just like random, like LeBron, like for example, LeBron's like 30, what is he at? 38,000 right now? 38,000, 10,000 assists and 10,000 rebounds. Like no one's ever like, maybe Westbrook, because he averaged the whole triple double for 3 seasons. So if he keeps going at that pace like he is now, coming off the bench, then yeah, he can damn near be joining LeBron in that 30, not 30,000, like 25,000, 10 and 10,000, 10,000. Stat wise, rebounds, assists, points, whatever. Points, rebounds, assists. Yeah. But shit like that, man. Like, Jokic is just like, he's already like a 2-time MVP. has yet to reach the finals. I believe this. If it's not Golden State, if it's not Golden State, if it's not Grizzlies, if it's not what other team is on a roll right now? Like the Pelicans was on a roll. They won like 9, 10 straight, like within the beginning of the year or last year or some shit. Cause I mean, if any other teams don't make it, then Denver is my favorite to make it. Along with Dallas. I got Dallas. The Lakers, if we can turn things around and if we can stay healthy, because Austin Reeves, a big part of our offense, big part of our offense is nowhere to be found right now. He's still injured, but Max Christie, I have high praise for him. I believe that Austin Reeves is gonna try and what's the fucking word? Not develop, but just sync up like how fucking Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Because didn't they have Jaylen Brown 1 year and then Jason Tatum the next year? Some shit like that. We got Austin Reeves first, and we got Max Christie. So Austin Reeves can like show him around the ins and outs and stuff. You know, as an experience, from experience, like, oh, from my rookie year, like, I wish I would have known this. And just sophomore year shit. Well, sophomore year in the NBA, the second season. Just little shit, just to like, I don't know, man, just anything, bro. Like, I just want the Lakers to fucking go to the playoffs, man. And once we reach the playoffs, who knows what AD and Braun can do, especially like in a non-fucking pandemic. The fuck? In a non-fucking pandemic, like time and shit. Because when Braun and AD, like when we made the playoffs and shit, we was first in the West. I want to go back to those times so bad, but fuck 2020. Honestly, fuck 2020. I want to go to those times so bad, but fuck 2020. Just to see the Lakers in first seed again. Just to see the Lakers in first place again, man. That shit was just so dope. Shit was just so dope, honestly. But like I said, man, Jokic is like a modern day fucking Will Chamberlain. Literally a modern day Will Chamberlain. Because you see, no one's really fucking with Jokic like that. No one's really averaging triple doubles like that. Obviously, you have Embiid putting up 40 points, 15 over here. You know what big man I haven't heard from all season? Cat. Cat is making no noise this season. And it's sad because I look forward to seeing Cat play and shit. But recently, like, I've been seeing more work put in from Sabonis than Cat. And I've been seeing more work put in from the rookie in Utah, Walker Kessler. Yeah, Walker Kessler than Gobert. Obviously, like, Kessler is averaging more blocks than Gobert. And it's like, bro, like, you're the defensive player. You let this rookie fucking outshine you on the team you just came from, bro? That's crazy, bro. But that's how the NBA is. Like, shit. It's like that fucking Cars movie and shit. It's like, oh, like, when the Hudson Hornet, he got injured, he rolled over, and then he was just like, oh, like, they gave it to the next rookie in line. It's like shit. That's like Rudy Gobert somewhere saying, like, they traded me. They gave that spot to the next rookie in line. Oh, man. I feel like we can end it off here, y'all. I feel like we can end it off here. What's this? What's this? What's this? It's something, something, some. The fuck. And then y'all ever see? I think it was like a Vine or some shit. He's like, what's this? What's this? There's white stuff everywhere or something like that. He's like, but someone made a Vine and it was like, the fuck is in the air. Ooh, little instrumental skis. Oh man. Oh, the song just cut off, brother. Low-key, I ain't gonna front with y'all, man. Last words before I get off. My energy has been off this week. And by energy, I mean like my motivation has been off. My focus has been off. Uh my meaning has been off. By meaning, I mean like, oh, like, by meaning, I mean, you know, uh like my actions don't match up to the meaning, you know, to the means of it. You know what I mean? Like my actions don't match up to the means of it, if that makes sense. But at the same time, like it's all in your head. Like it's all in all of our heads, man. Like we just we doubt ourselves, we praise ourselves, we hate ourselves, we love ourselves, but at the end of the day, it's you that's in the way. It's us, you know, getting in our own way of our own beliefs and our own uh, dreams, goals, aspirations, shit like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just all like self self inflicted and shit. You know, you a victim. You a victim. He got that shit on. No. All right, yo. Finna end it off right here. Be sure you follow me on all my socials, Instagram, Twitter, same as always. No Signal Mando. TikTok, Uncle Mondo 7. Spotify, No Signal Podcast, and right here at Mondo Man. On the YouTube, Mondo Man. All right, y'all. I'm out. Y'all have a good one. Peace and one love. And love yourself before you love anyone else. Straight up.